Great to be in Ohio with veterans. All right. All right. You know, I got to tell you, every week at the Interior and with the President is Heroes Week. I can think of no president that values the military, our veterans, and recognizes that duty just doesn't stop when we leave the uniform. Duty just begins. A third of the President's cabinet has military service. You know, and many of you return home to start your businesses and raise families in some cases, and I'd like to see more, to become elected official. I can tell you we need more of it in Congress, and we need more of it in our government. So also, you know, as veterans, we also need to look when we come home, if there's a veteran struggling, we all need to lend a hand. We're not victims, we're teammates. And what I see a lot of times is us, as a family, we're relegated to victims. Sometimes we had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and realize that heroes are never victims. They're just what they are, heroes. You know, in service of our warriors and our families is incredible. But I don't want to also forget about our spouses and families. My own experience, my wife, Alita, was at home with 2 young children. While I was deployed forward, my daughter was deployed forward, and my son-in-law was deployed forward. Now that's tough duty. And that's from a former SEAL Team 6 commander. But, you know, all of us, and I'd just like to say spouses, raise your hands. Any spouses? Thank you. So, now I'd like to introduce my good friend and Air Force Captain, Rick Perry. And you know, Texas has a long history of pilots who become governors and run for president. And Rick Perry is a tremendous asset. And now, may I introduce the Secretary of Interior, our Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry.
Thank you, sir. Howdy, it's good to be with you today. I have to tell my, there's probably a few devil dogs in here today. I live on a piece of property with a couple of Marines. We graduated from Texas A&M together in 1972. They introduced me as Perry now, who wasn't in the military. He was in the Air Force. Now, I don't know what to think about you boys doing those kind of, picking on me like that. But it's a great privilege to get to live and be around men and women who serve our country. My father was a B-17 tail gunner. 1944 through 35 missions over Nazi-held Germany. He came home to live in peace, raise a kid, daughter, and trained them to be patriots. And that's what men and women in this audience do. You're patriots, and I'm proud to be a part of that. This kicking off American Heroes Week with President Trump, with Vice President Pence, it's a great privilege for me to get to serve with a patriot like Donald Trump. This is what America is all about. I'm proud to be a part of an administration that understands that men and women in this audience and what you have done to pay forward, if you will, for the next generation. We know the burdens that you faced, because many of us have faced those ourselves. We love this country. We put our hands up and said, "Here am I, send me," when this country asked for our service. I'm proud of the Department of Energy, where we have partnered with the Department of Veterans Affairs. It's a Million Veterans program, and it's one that's making a real difference. It's taken our DOE supercomputing capacity, working with the VA, to be able to do some unrivaled health care for veterans across this country. And at the department, there's a young man standing right over here. Hold your hand up, Morgan. That's Morgan Luttrell. He's a Navy SEAL who just came to help stand up that program at the Department of Energy. We're going to be, as a matter of fact, Zinke was his instructor at Buds. He says he remembers you. He says he remembers you, that you had a lot of encouraging words for him when he was going through Hell Week. But together, the VA and the DOE, we're going to be making a real difference. And I'm confident that working with the VA, because I know the man that's over there. Dr. David Shulkin comes from a family with a very rich record of service to this country. He's a man who's deeply committed to our veterans, their care, and their families. He's a man of action, helping to reform the VA on behalf of everyday Americans, everyday American heroes. I have the great privilege to introduce to you the 9th Secretary of the Veterans Affairs Department, Dr. David Shulkin.
Thank you, Secretary Perry, and I'm glad to be here with Secretary Zinke as well to kick off American Heroes Week. You know, at the Department of Veteran Affairs, every week is American Heroes Week, but this is a particularly important week to remind all Americans of what President Lincoln said nearly a century and a half ago, that it's our responsibility to care for those who have borne the battle. And our veterans have earned so much, and no one understands that more than this president, President Trump. He focused on veteran issues from day one of his campaign, and now that he's president, VA is changing for the better. Under this president's leadership, VA is engaged in the largest transformation and modernization effort in recent history. And we're taking issues head on that have been lingering for years, and we're making important progress. We now have same-day healthcare services in primary care and mental health at every one of our major VA medical centers. We're improving customer service with the president's White House hotline. To increase continuity of care, we've made a decision to move our medical record to the same one as the Department of Defense, which only makes sense. And we're being more transparent than ever. We publish our wait time data, our quality data, and our employee disciplinary actions online. Now everyone can see that we're holding people accountable, something that's much easier thanks to the VA Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act, which the President signed last month. Here in Northwest Ohio, we're going to open up a number of new facilities this year in West Cleveland, Sandusky, and Paynesville. And we expect to have a decision on another new facility in Lorraine sometime next year. I'm also pleased to announce that just last Friday, we began advertising for a new location for a 30,000 square foot community-based outpatient center right here in Youngstown. We are committed to moving forward with this project as quickly as possible to ensure that the Youngstown area veterans get the VA care that they've earned close to home. Nationally, though, VA still has some big challenges, and they include reforming the broken claims appeal process and giving veterans greater choice over their healthcare decisions. And we know we can always count on the President's unwavering support. He has our back, and he has your back. President Trump understands that fixing VA is all about strengthening the ability to provide timely, high-quality care while improving the experience and outcomes for veterans. He's committed to seeing this through, and so am I, because that's what our American heroes deserve. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump.
Look at all those cameras back there. Isn't that nice? We love Ohio. Boy, do we love Ohio. Thank you. I'm going to be speaking about you in a couple of minutes. You are something. You are brave and strong, and we're going to be talking about you, and that's why we're here, to talk about you. So thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you, Secretary Shulkin, for the introduction. Special guy, and he's doing a tremendous job in leadership of the VA. He's working every day to keep our promise, to take care of our great veterans. Now, I went all over Ohio, but I went all over almost every state. And the veterans were a very, very big topic for me. You know that. And I think what we're doing, it's never been done before. We just had a bill, the VA accountability bill. They've been trying to get it for many, many decades. They weren't able to get it, and we got it. That means people are accountable. That means people are accountable for taking care of our vets. And if they don't take proper care, we hold them accountable. So I think it's just great. So, Secretary, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I also want to recognize two veterans here with us who now serve the American people as members of our cabinet, Secretary Zinke and Secretary Perry. And we're going to be a net exporter of energy very shortly. Where is our Perry, man? Come here. And Secretary of the Interior controls about, what, 22% of the entire United States. So when somebody thinks they're big landlords, they're actually very small compared to him.
He's in real estate, he knows.
It's great to be back in Youngstown. It was an incredible time we had. And you know the numbers, and you saw for many, many years Democrats, and they're really great, but Democrats, they win in Youngstown. But not this time. Right? They started to get a little nervous at the beginning of that evening when they see Youngstown seems to be going the other way. That hasn't happened in a lot of decades. And I hear we're doing better in the polls even right now than we were, even on election night, and so many different places, swing states, et cetera, because they see what we're doing with jobs. The jobs are the best they've been in 17 years. The stock market hit another all-time high today. We're doing trade deals, and, you know, we have statutory length problems where you have to wait statutorily before you do them, but everybody's been put on notice. We're renegotiating NAFTA, and if we don't get the deal we want, we'll terminate NAFTA. NAFTA's been a disaster for Youngstown. It's been a disaster for Ohio. And people are coming back. If you look at Ohio, but if you look at Michigan and other places, auto industry is starting to come back in a very, very big way. You see what's happening with coal. Coal is coming. Clean coal. We love clean coal, and it's coming back. I especially want to thank John and Jan Brown, whose leadership in MVETS has improved the lives of so many. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. And they were with us right from the beginning. First time I was here. First time. We really appreciate it. Jan, thank you very much. Is he a good husband? Or just average? Huh? I know he is. To all the veterans with us this evening, we're here to honor you, to celebrate your service, and to thank you for your sacrifice. A grateful nation salutes you, and that's from the bottom of the President's heart. A truly grateful nation salutes you. All week at the White House, we are celebrating American heroes, and nothing fills our hearts with more pride than to be with those who risked everything to protect our citizens and preserve our way of life. This evening, we're joined by veterans from every major engagement since World War II. You have crossed oceans, trekked deserts, scaled mountains, and cut your way through jungles to secure our nation and defend our people. And nobody, throughout history, nobody has done it better than you. You gave all that you have for our country and for victory. We love victory, don't we? We haven't had enough victory, but we're having it now. You're seeing it. We're having it now. You carried out your duty with honor, courage, and devotion, and with your sacrifice, you earned our freedom. In my administration, we will always protect those who protect us. Believe me, we will protect you because you have protected us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I tell you, thank you very much. That includes reforming the Department of Veterans Affairs, where David's doing such an incredible job, so we can serve you as faithfully as you served our nation. Since my first day in office, we've taken one action after another to make sure that our veterans get the care they so richly deserve. We've begun to process a seamlessly transferring veterans' medical records horrible situation where you couldn't get your medical records. And now it's so easy and so good, and the system is fixed, finally, after all of these years. Right? We've published wait times at every VA facility. I used to go around and talk about the veterans, and they'd stand on line for 9 days, 7 days, 4 days. That was a good one. 15 days. People that could have been given a prescription and been better right away end up dying waiting on line. That's not happening anymore. And we have choice. If that happens, you're going to go out to the doctor. We're going to have choice, David. And it seems so obvious to me. Even before I really got into the nitty-gritty of the VA, it just seemed like, why would this great veteran who protected us stand on line for days and days and days and wait for a simple solution where it became a big problem because of those time delays? And we are now doing choice, and you go out and you take care of it with a great doctor. Hopefully you have a great doctor. If it's not so good, you get another one, right? We've delivered same-day mental health service at every VA medical center. And so many of the veterans would come up to me during the campaign, and they really stressed how important the mental health aspect of what we're doing is. We have nearly doubled the number of veterans given approvals to see the doctor of their choice. So not only is it choice, but we've doubled up, and now we're going to be tripling up very shortly. And so importantly, I have signed new historic legislation to ensure that every single federal VA worker has to do what they have to do. They're going to be held accountable. And the pushback on that bill was unbelievable. I said to myself, oh, that should be easy. And then I looked at 40 years of turmoil trying to get it through. And we won't attack any particular group, but you understand why it was not easy to get through. Because some people didn't want that. They wanted it to be that certain workers could do a horrible job. And most of the workers are great. And the doctors, a lot of the doctors in the VA are phenomenal talents. Phenomenal. But now we're going to be able to get to those doctors. You've put America first every day of your lives, and now we have a VA that will truly put veterans first. Veterans. Your stories are America's stories, and your names are the names of true American heroes. I'd like to honor one such hero who is with us tonight, Robert M. Bishop. He looks good. Nearly 76 years ago, Bob was a gunner aboard the USS Tennessee in Pearl Harbor when the Japanese bombs struck the turrets of that once great ship. During the attack, Bob was below the deck at his battle station for 4 excruciating hours of fire and hell. 5 of his crew members never made it off the ship, giving their last breath in this courageous and incredible service to our country. Bob stayed with the ship after the attack, and once it was repaired, which went actually much faster than it goes today, folks. You'll have to explain that one. It cost a lot less. He served on the Tennessee for another 4.5 years, fighting in some of the greatest engagements in the Pacific Ocean. After World War II, Bob and his wife Doris moved back to Ohio. Good choice, Bob. That is a good choice. I love this state. Remember at the beginning, they always said, there is no victory without Ohio. Right, Mr. Chairman? Boy, did we win Ohio. Right? Remember? And it wasn't like it was close. That was a big one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Where Bob served in the Navy Reserve and also worked in the steel industry for over 50 years. This year, Bob and Doris celebrated, now you're going to have to explain this to me, their 74th wedding anniversary. Wow. That is fantastic. That is so beautiful. He's been back to Pearl Harbor 8 times to pay tribute to his comrades. And it is with his, really, this great wish of his and the great wish of so many people that know Bob that he will attend the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor on the eve of his 101st birthday. And if your party gets... And Bob, if your party gets a little bit cheap with the money, I'll pay for it, okay? Right? Right? So, Bob, the depth of your love for the country, you really inspire us all. Today, I'm truly honored to present you with a certificate of recognition for your heroic sacrifice, your lifetime of service, and your undying devotion to our great nation. Thank you, Bob. Where is that beautiful certificate? Oh, nice frame. Look. They never give me frames. They just give me the paper. I have to go out and get my own frame. It's never great. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Congratulations. To every veteran here this evening, your courage is the strength of our nation, and your patriotism is the beating heart of our shared destiny. Your stories will inspire generations of Americans to fight and to win for our country and for our great, beautiful American flag that we all honor. May God bless you. May God bless our veterans. And may God bless the United States of America. And thank you very much. It's such an honor to be with you again. You are special people in a special state. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Joe Seals here at the RSBN Studios in Auburn, Alabama. Thanks for watching our coverage of President Trump at the Salute to American Heroes event in Struthers, Ohio. Please, now we are live from the rally in Youngstown, Ohio. President Trump will be there shortly. He's leaving here right now and heading over there. Right now, Lara Trump is speaking, and Eric Trump will speak here shortly. So click on our channel page and join us back over at the rally stream. We are the only people that pay in the crowds. It's going to be an awesome time, so join us right now. If you can't find the stream, just go to rsbn.tv, and you'll see us right there. Hope to see you over there. Thank you.